Picture this: you walk into your local grocery store with $100 in your wallet, the same $100 that used to fill your cart to the brim just 3 years ago. But today, you're staring at half-empty bags and wondering where all that purchasing power went. If this sounds painfully familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people around the world are watching their hard-earned money lose value month after month, while prices for everything from eggs to electricity keep climbing higher. But here's the thing that most people don't realize. While inflation is eating away at the savings of ordinary families, there's a growing group of savvy individuals who have figured out how to not just survive this economic storm, but actually come out ahead. They're using strategies that aren't taught in schools, aren't plastered across mainstream financial advice columns, and certainly aren't what your bank wants you to know about. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the smart money moves that real people are using right now to beat inflation at its own game. And the best part? These aren't strategies reserved for the wealthy elite. They're practical, actionable moves that anyone can start implementing today. So if you're tired of watching your money shrink while feeling powerless to stop it, stick with me, because what you're about to learn could change your financial future. Let's start by getting real about what we're up against. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, consumer prices have increased by over 20% since early 2020. That means if you had $10,000 in a regular savings account earning minimal interest, you've effectively lost $2,000 in purchasing power. Your money is still there, but it buys significantly less than it did just a few years ago. The average savings account in the United States pays around 0.4% interest annually, while inflation has been running at rates between 3 and 9% over the past few years. That's not just a gap, that's a chasm that's swallowing people's financial security. But here's where the story gets interesting. While traditional savers have been losing ground, a different group of people started making moves that most financial advisors weren't talking about. They looked at the economic landscape and asked themselves a critical question: if cash is losing value, what assets are gaining value? And more importantly, how can I position myself to benefit from this shift? The answers they found are reshaping how smart money thinks about wealth preservation in the 2020s. One of the most powerful strategies people are using right now is something called debt optimization, and it's the complete opposite of what you've probably been told your whole life. We've all heard the mantra, pay off your debt as fast as possible. But here's the counterintuitive truth that savvy individuals have figured out. When you have fixed-rate debt during high inflation, that debt is actually becoming cheaper in real terms with every passing month. Think about it this way. If you took out a mortgage in 2020 at 3% interest, but inflation is running at 5%, you're effectively being paid 2% to borrow that money. The dollars you'll use to pay back that loan in the future are worth less than the dollars you borrowed, which means inflation is actually working in your favor. Smart borrowers have been locking in low fixed-rate loans and strategically choosing not to pay them off early, even when they have the cash to do so. Instead, they're taking that extra money and putting it into inflation-resistant assets. A software engineer in Austin, Texas, shared her story in a personal finance forum about how she refinanced her home in 2021 at 2.75% and then took the money she was planning to use for extra mortgage payments and invested it in Treasury inflation-protected securities, or TIS, and dividend-paying stocks. 2 years later, her investment returns have far exceeded what she would have saved in mortgage interest, and the real value of her mortgage debt has decreased thanks to inflation. This isn't about taking on reckless debt. It's about understanding the math and using the economic environment to your advantage. But the real estate play goes beyond just rights. There's been a fascinating trend of people buying rental properties in emerging markets or smaller cities where prices haven't skyrocketed yet. A schoolteacher from Ohio made headlines in a real estate investment group when she shared how she bought a modest rental property in a growing Midwestern college town for $150,000. With rental income covering her mortgage and expenses, she's building equity while her tenants essentially pay down her loan with dollars that are worth less each year. Meanwhile, rental prices in her area have increased by 18% over the past 2 years, meaning her cash flow keeps growing while her fixed mortgage payment stays the same. This is inflation working for you instead of against you. Then there's the commodities angle, and this is where things get really interesting. When currency values decline, tangible goods and resources tend to hold or increase their value. Gold has been the traditional go-to for thousands of years, and there's a reason for that. During the high inflation period of the 1970s, gold prices increased from around $35 per ounce to over $800 per ounce by 1980. More recently, gold has set new record highs, crossing above $2,100 per ounce in 2024. But smart money isn't just looking at gold. They're diversifying into other precious metals like silver, which has industrial applications that create consistent demand, and even into commodity-focused exchange-traded funds that give exposure to everything from agricultural products to energy resources. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you: strategic spending. Yes, you read that right. In certain situations, spending money now rather than saving it can actually be the smarter financial move during inflation. This concept is called pulling forward purchases, and it's based on a simple principle. If you know you're going to need something in the future, and prices are rising, buying it now with today's more valuable dollars can save you money compared to waiting. This doesn't mean going on a shopping spree for things you don't need. It means being strategic about necessary purchases and investments. People have been applying this to everything from home appliances to home improvements to business equipment. A small business owner in Colorado shared how he accelerated his equipment purchases when he saw supply chain issues and inflation driving prices higher. By buying necessary machinery and tools in early 2021 instead of waiting until 2023 as he originally planned, he estimates he saved over $30,000 compared to current prices for the same equipment. He financed the purchases at low interest rates, which means he's paying back the loans with inflated dollars while already benefiting from the equipment in his business. There's also been a fascinating trend in what's being called lifestyle arbitrage. This is where people are strategically relocating to areas with lower costs of living while maintaining remote jobs that pay higher salaries based on expensive city wages. A marketing professional from San Francisco shared her story of moving to Portugal while keeping her California-based remote job. Her salary stayed the same, but her cost of living dropped by approximately 60%. She's not just beating inflation, she's completely sidestepping it by changing her geographic relationship to it. While this specific move isn't feasible for everyone, the principle applies domestically too, with many people relocating from high-cost coastal cities to more affordable areas in the South and Midwest while maintaining their remote work arrangements. The investment in dividend growth stocks has also become a cornerstone strategy for inflation fighters. Unlike growth stocks that promise future returns, dividend-paying stocks provide regular cash payments that can increase over time. Companies that consistently raise their dividends year after year, known as dividend aristocrats, have historically been able to pass along price increases to customers and maintain growing profit margins even during inflationary periods. These increased profits then get passed along to shareholders through higher dividend payments. An investor who built a portfolio of dividend growth stocks 5 years ago might have started with a 3% dividend yield. But if those companies have been raising dividends by 7 to 10% annually, their yield on original investment is now much higher, providing growing income that helps offset rising living costs. Let's also address the elephant in the room: cryptocurrency. While this remains a controversial and volatile space, some people have allocated a small portion of their portfolio to digital assets as an inflation hedge. The argument is that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin have a fixed supply, which theoretically protects against the currency debasement that drives inflation. However, it's crucial to note that crypto markets are extremely volatile and speculative. Financial experts typically recommend that if you're going to venture into this space, it should represent no more than 5 to 10% of your investment portfolio and only money you can afford to lose. Some people have benefited significantly, while others have experienced substantial losses. This isn't financial advice, but rather an observation of strategies people are using. Perhaps one of the most overlooked inflation-fighting strategies is negotiation. In a tight labor market with rising costs, employees have more leverage than they've had in decades. People are successfully negotiating salary increases, remote work arrangements that save on commuting costs, and better benefits packages. According to a Pew Research survey, roughly 60% of workers who asked for a raise in 2022 received one. The key is approaching these conversations with data about inflation, market rates for your position, and clear documentation of your value to the organization. Some workers have secured raises of 10 to 20% simply by making a compelling case and being willing to explore other opportunities if necessary. If this video opened your eyes to possibilities you hadn't considered before, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now, because we're going to keep bringing you the strategies and insights that can genuinely change your financial trajectory. Drop a like on this video so more people can discover these inflation-fighting tactics. And here's something important. Drop a comment below and tell me which strategy resonated most with you, or share your own inflation-fighting move that's working. Our community learns from each other, and your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. This isn't just about surviving inflation. It's about thriving despite it. So subscribe, stay connected, and let's keep building wealth together, no matter what the economy throws at us. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive even deeper into making your money work harder than ever before.